what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the idea and the theme that we've had this week. Is the simple fact is that you can't be free if the cost of being you is too high. Now let me repeat that. You can't be free if the cost of being you is too high. Now, y'all, see these taps out there, don't steal that from me. I know it's hard to write a sermon every Sunday, so you just let certain things. That's why I'm saying it now. You can't be free if the cost of being you is too high. What do I mean? I mean that the cost of being us right now in this society as we see it is way too high. I already mentioned the self-esteem crisis that many of us are fall victims to. What about the fact that the number one killer of our young black women, ages 16 to 35, is HIV and AIDS, a preventable disease? There's a heavy cost there, and there's no way they can be free if that cost is too high. Flip side, the other side, the real cost, the dollar cost. We as a community are the number one debtors per income in the world. We carry more debt, pay more in credit card monthly payments alone. In fact, we pay so many trillions of dollars in just keeping our credit card balances even per month that we could build brand new schools in every urban neighborhood every 5 years and double teacher salaries is just what we pay to Visa and MasterCard. It's amazing. Because we can't be free if the cost of being us is too high. And right now the cost is way too high. But many of us don't really, we know the data, but we don't actually really want to talk about it. Now, another evidence that the cost is a little too high. What's happening with our black males? I mean, I kind of grimace when I say it because it hurts my heart so. Tomorrow I'm going to be in the Cook County Juvenile Detention Center talking to 50 young brothers facing 25 years to life, ages 13 to 17. I tell you, in 1966, 80% of African American families were headed by two people. Two parents were in the home. 80%. Fast forward to 2006, and that number drops below 35%. And it's a drastic number because people will say, well, that's just what's happening in society. No, it's not. Let's hold up and compare the number. Now this is some data that most people don't really like to compare. The percentage of households headed by an Asian American family, two parents, 86% up 35. White households, 74% up 35. Latino households, 66%. Up 35. That's a drastic difference. That's just not some small percentage point. But we can't be free if the cost of being us is too high. Now, watch this. Out of all the children who are African American in this country that are being raised in single-parent households, 50% are living below the poverty line. 50. Out of all the children in African American households living in two-parent families in this country, what do you think that percentage below the poverty line is? It drops to 12%. These are drastic differences. When we start to see the common thread about what's happening with the black family and its destruction and the decimation of our young people's self-esteem and the actions they take. And is it any coincidence that the graduation rate of African American males in this country is the same percentage of the number of families headed by two parents? About 35 and 35. So we talk about the idea of social responsibility and where we fall, and we start to realize that we actually will never be free of the cost of being up too high now. How can we start dealing with that cost? I believe we can start dealing with that cost. One of my favorite quotes from Dr. King, and a lot of people don't ever use this quote, but I love it. It's very short. He said, our lives begin to end the day that we don't start speaking truth to the things that matter. These are the things that matter. The fact that so many of our kids are being raised by single moms that are doing their best, working multiple jobs, but still are falling below poverty. The fact that our young people are dying from bullets and sperm-laced bullets on every side. So as we look at a beautiful night like tonight, we have to really be honest. And I don't want to bring the whole thing down. This is a celebration. And the reason why I do feel celebratory is that I believe that we are on the cusp of actually changing this crisis. We truly are. We truly are. Why? The reason why is because we, as a community, are finally deciding that we are going to have. And particularly, we as black men now, this is sometimes might get hot water. So don't get too mad at me. But men, we have to stop waiting for women to check us. We need to start having the courage to check each other now. Courage is the word. I'm a word monger. I love the word courage because it comes from the Latin core, which is C-O-U-R, which means heart. Now we as men have to start having the heart to patrol and check each other. Too long have we allowed men that we see, your boys, you know us, to disrespect our women, to not call their kids, to not be there, and not do the things that they need to do as men in our culture, in our society. But we'll go play ball with them. We'll go have a beer with the stars. I'm starting to see it happening. The next time one of your boys wants to have a beer, and you know that he has 2 kids. The next time you meet, say, you know what, before we pour that beer, when's the last time you talked to your daughter? Before you pour that beer, when's the last time you called her and said, I love you? Well, you know, we tell them they take my call, just when you like it. Well, okay, when's the last time you left a voice message? Right. Okay, you know what? Before we pour that beer, before we shoot that ball, before we hit that golf ball, you're going to call your daughter right here. Here's my phone. Yeah, you're going to call her and you're going to say, I love you. And if she doesn't call you back, you're going to call her again 3 days later and say, I love you. If she doesn't call you back, you're going to call her again. Then you're going to call her again, you're going to call her again, you're going to call her again. In fact, every time we hang out, you're going to call your daughter. You can't expect women to control us. We have to start controlling ourselves. Does that make sense? Women agree. Now, women, don't act like you got off the look. And you women, will you please stop letting us get away with the nonsense that you let us get away with? You allow us to sleep with multiple women. You allow it. You allow Don't get mad at me. It's not the Obama campaign. You truly are in control. However, there's one thing that stops both of us, men and women, from doing what I just said. It's fear. The opposite of courage. The opposite of cool. And for me, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. You feel that? Use that in something. False evidence appearing real. Now, I'm in the business of false evidence. That's literally all I do. On Cincinnati, those people aren't really dead. When they look at it, they do. When they go, they get up and they go track service on the sheet. And they come, they lay back out. I really don't understand how they do it sometimes, to be honest. Because you shine the light around, they never blink. I mean, these are just outstanding, dead-looking people. But it's false evidence of hearing real. And we're bombarded with it all the time. Bombarded with it. Do you realize that we see over 1,000 ads a day in some sort of form? 1,000. And so you start to wonder, well, why are we confused, messed up? Why do we feel like we need this and need that? No wonder. We're bombarded with it, certainly from the music side. I talk to young people about Kanye West. This is another thing that we need to do. We as adults look to the young people. We say, why do they listen to this and why do they do that? And how come, rather than actually listening, understanding, hearing what they're hearing, seeing what they're seeing, taking it, and then reversing the conversation with them, using, in other words, going to where they are and flipping it on them. I'll give you an example. What's the title of Kanye West's first album? A lot of you didn't even know what the title was. So, College Dropout, that's the title. Now, the literal meaning of that is that Kanye West dropped out of college. What's the real purpose of him naming his album College Dropout? The real purpose is that he was bragging the idea that, he's successful, all that, etc. Didn't need college to do it. But it's false evidence appearing real. Why? Because what Kanye doesn't tell the young person who reads that title, College Dropout, telling him that he doesn't really need college. What he doesn't tell that young person is that his mother, God rest her soul, was one of the top college professors in the state of Illinois. So he didn't get 4 years of college training. He got 18 years of college training. So the title now should have been College Dropout, living off college training. You didn't get no but college. That's a long title for an album. But if we don't actually learn that that's the title he used, and then learn about him, we can engage in that conversation to actually flip it on and use it as a teaching tool. Another one I love to use, and who can tell me this? You look like someone who loves hip-hop. I see you. Now, I see you. The stage is hot. I would jump down. You guys can jump off. Can I hurt myself? I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. So, there is a lyric in a song that says, I'm under 21 with a black card. Who's singing? Okay. You have no idea. He said, I'm under 21 with a black card. What are you talking about? Okay, Bow Wow. What are you talking about?
American Express.
American Express.
You're talking about American Express. Black card, the Centurion card. Okay? What's significant about a Centurion card?
Credit.
Unlimited balance, unlimited credit.
Credit.
What's interesting about that, the idea of bragging about having a black card is tantamount to me walking up to you and saying, look at that beautiful car. It's nice. It's like an Escalade or something. Ooh, that's nice. Where'd you get it? I think, why not that? It hurts. It's like, that sounds really bragging, but that hurts the car. That's not your car. But wouldn't it be more interesting and accurate to brag about Ken Chenault, black man, Harvard Law School graduate, the CEO of American Express? So it really begs the question, you want to brag about carrying a credit card, or you want to own the company that makes the card? Right? So we can use that as a specific teaching tool. And none of this is new. I mean, come on. Haki Matsuri wrote a book on single obsolete dangerous 25, 30 years ago, talking about this same stuff. So the question is, what are we going to do next to deal with it, rather than just talking about it? And I think a lot of the work that's been done this week addresses that. Talked to a lot of people that have been here all week. They told me about a lot of the things that they've been talking about and what they've been doing. And certainly on the Obama campaign, many of us have seen firsthand as we travel across the country, seeing engagement from people who are 108 years old to people who are 8 years old. And what's so amazing about the opportunities that exist right now, if we as a community start to think ahead, start to be proactive rather than reactive, we can garner and truly hold and make qualitative, quantitative change in a very short period of time. I had a meeting last night with some CEOs and a few hedge fund leaders. It was actually kind of depressing, African American. It was actually kind of depressing because they kept telling me that the problem with our young people is unsolved. They kept saying that. I was like, really? What do you think young people do? And they said, well, what do you mean? So, we have this dropout rate, we got the incarceration rate, prison industrial complex, we got our girls have babies, and they have no parenting skills, and this is just a cycle. It's going to repeat itself. It's going to repeat itself. The cycle is going to repeat it. But they kept saying it. I said, what do you think they're doing? Well, what do you think they're doing? All they're doing is modeling our behavior. What? I said, young people model behavior. People are, I graduated and I'm doing well and I'm fine. And I said, exactly. You know what? They never treat you. So how do they model your behavior? What I mean by that is we can't be free if the cost of being too high. And those of us that are doing well have to stop giving away the conversation. We've advocated to the people who are louder than we are. Dick Carson, Stan O'Neill, Ken Chenault, these three incredible CEOs, Mr. Gray, Julian Bond, these people have fabulous lives. I'll put any of their lives up against Puppy or JC or any of them, but none of these young people know about their lives. They need to see Dick Carson's job. It's fleet of thought and how we got there. Through education, through hard work. They need to see Stan on him. They need to know about this one. But they don't because we, who have done well and been successful, we're happy to keep doing well and be successful. And we know that maybe if we get too far out there, now I'm going to say it. All right. The white man has been writing these big checks up. They say he's a little too uppity. We're going to stop writing those checks. So let me just keep mine down and see what you decide. When I have those for barbecue, I'll have it at the guest house so they don't see the big house. They'll say, wow, he's very humble. He's certainly living within his means. I thought we paid him more. But we've given away the conversation we have. Young people will model behavior if they know about us. A great example is this. I travel, I speak to 30, 40, 50,000 young people a year. And I ask them a very simple question, many of the young men. I say, what do you want to be when you grow up? 8 out of 10 tell me they either want to be a rapper or a ball player. A year from now, if we do our work, and again, this is a campaign ad. A year from now, if we do our work, they're going to tell me, I want to be Barack Obama. And then we start having a conversation about how this guy, raised by a single parent family, and once was on food stamps, just paid off his student loans 2 years ago, is going to be president of the United States if you are. But again, that's not Obama. But that's the point. These young people will model what they see. The images we present to them, we got to stop giving it away to TV. And just say, you know what, they see that in video games, they see that on music videos. I just kind of go back, no. We can be much more loud, so to speak, about the proper and most effective way to build cross-generational wealth, education, success, and happiness in our community. We can do that. And it won't seem so strange that you're the only CEO, Executive Vice President, Senior VP, who happens to be just out there, gathering up 10, 15, 20 kids, take them over to the house, showing them this in a real, clear, new way. I try to do my best, you know. This is a really nice watch, right? And I can show a young guy, say, hey, Puffy ain't got nothing on me. That's what I tell them. They don't always believe me, but that's what I tell them. You know, one of my favorite pieces of Scripture, Malachi 3:6. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. What's interesting about that, my pastor, he likes to have his little Wednesday Bible study. He gets a little upset in the middle of the week because he's just angry, a little tired. And so folks come up and ask, what does that mean? He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And you know what he did? He told this young woman in my congregation, he sent her to say, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just go find out yourself. Go see a silversmith and find out what it means. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. So she went. Watched the silversmith take raw silver here, hold it into a fire, and at one point put it off to the side. So when she saw that, she walked for about a half hour. She said, I got it. Goes back to Pastor the next Wednesday and says, Pastor, I know what it means. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. It means this. We started out rough. We will go through the fire, but we're going to come out purified when we get through the fire. Pastor said, that's what that means? He said, yes. You think that's apt for our people? He said, absolutely, that is apt for us. We're going through the fire, but we're going to come out purified. That's fantastic. But that's only half the story.
Yeah, that's right.
She said, what do you mean? So I'm going to say, you go back and see something. She went back. And this time she watched extremely close. And she really tried to analyze, okay, is he taking bigger pieces and putting the fire longer, or smaller pieces, or long pieces and short pieces? And she couldn't see anything that was regular that she could hang her hat on and say, okay, this is what he's actually doing. So she just got frustrated. And she didn't want to do it. But she just walked up to the school. She said, hey. She said, look, I'm not going back here another week. What are you doing? She said, isn't it obvious? She said, look, I'm taking the raw silver, I'm putting it in the fire. When it's purified and ready, I put it to the side. She said, I know that. He said, it's the fire that purifies. She said, I know that. She said, well, how do you know when it's ready? How do you know when it's purified? He said, oh, that's easy. He said, I know it's ready. I know it's purified when I see my reflection in it. And all of us, when we start to see our reflection in each other,
That's right.
that's when we know we're on the right track. And we're starting to see, I start to see the youth, when I look at here, I I see my reflection. When I look at Barack, I see my reflection. When I look at a young guy who's going to be in the Cook County Juvenile Detention Center tomorrow, I'm going to see my reflection in him, and he's going to see his reflection in me. And we have to make sure that all of us see our reflection in each other. Because that is when we will sit as a refiner and purifier of our people, and we will win. Yes, we can. We will win. Yes, we can. Thank you, everybody. Now, don't you appreciate CSI a little bit more? Yeah, they kill me off like 200 black people on the other two shows.